One thing is a fact, Nicholas. He opened the door, opened. And all those more evil elements from there are coming out. They're appearing. I'll show you here. Now, cowardly, they're already attacking Nicholas's father, right? Saying things because he's a pastor and all. They're trying. On the left, Lula told his supporters to respond, blaming Nikolas for the death of that little dog that ended up dying in Florianopolis. Because of the cruelty of those barbaric teenagers who went to Disney while things were getting bad here, blaming Nikolas, just look at the atrocity of this barbarity. Of course, the Supreme Electoral Court, under Carmen Lucia, isn't going to do anything right now. They're helping the left. That's what we see. That's what we notice. The guy went there and started a samba school for himself. It's Carmen Lucia. She stayed silent. Are they trying to connect Nicolas to this? I'll show you. Hit like, join Pais Afilios, Fabiano Guiguet, and subscribe. No need for the notification bell. We share news daily. My friends, before we start, I want you to take a look at this image here. Can you see it? Okay, me and Adriles. Look at how big my face was. Look at the size. This other video here that I made for TikTok, I made it about five or 6 months ago. Look at my double chin. Look at the size of my face. Look how swollen I was. 20 kilos heavier. 20 kilos heavier. Now, I want you to take a look at this other image. You can see it here, guys. Slim Fever, this product here that I advertise on the channel, here on our channel, it's official, okay? It's official. It's a place with more discounts because I have a partnership directly with the owner of Slim Fever. Why? It was through this little product here that I managed to lose 20 kilos. 20 kilos. I used to weigh 105 kilos. Today, I'm at 85. Thanks to Slim Fever. So if you're thinking about going on a diet, we all know how it is at the end of the year, right? At the beginning of the year and all, keeping in shape, I use Slim Fever. It's a little powder, you put it in water, stir it, and it gives you that feeling of fullness, you know? And you'll be able to lose inches. If I could do it, why can't you do it too? So, it's a great product to fight obesity, to help us lose weight, look good. It's an excellent opportunity. All the results are here. All the results are here. A few months ago, 20 kilos. I'm living proof that I managed to lose weight. I made a direct deal with the Slim Fever supplier. You won't be able to buy it at our price anywhere else. This is the best deal on the entire internet. So the link is right here, just below. Don't miss out. Lose weight, get slim, look great, and improve your quality of life. The link is right below. Good people sending all their support to Nikolas. The beautiful Falcone, who is one of the top influencers in Brazil, released this video.
I was talking to Magila, now I'm having lunch with my daughters, and I told him that I'm going to print this photo, and I really am. Guys, do you know why? This will never appear in Brazilian history books, especially those by Paulo Freire, right? So I'm going to print this photo to show my daughters and my granddaughters, if God allows me to get there, to tell them that there are still honest people, good people, decent people in such a corrupted field as politics. And I think these examples not only bring us hope, but also help us in a way to encourage this in our own circles with our children. So they always follow justice and righteousness and never give up on causes they believe in. Because if you look at the history of this guy here, Nicolas, you'll see that ever since he was very young, he's always fought for freedom.
Isn't that right?
What the beautiful Falcone says here is a fact. Because what the left is trying to push, that Nikolas is bad, that Nikolas is a traitor, that Nikolas will betray Bolsonaro. They're planting this inside groups, and there are idiots who fall for it. There are idiots who fall for it. Nikolas has always been loyal to President Bolsonaro, loyal to President Bolsonaro's inner circle. He's always been a strong ally. But Nikolas got too big. That's a fact. There's no way to deny it. To try to diminish his strength, especially this year, They're doing something outrageous. What I'm going to show first was that little priest at the basilica. And why? He's a character who's going to give a lot of strength to Flavio. Nikolas isn't just a congressman from Minas. Nikolas is my congressman here in Sao Paulo too. He became a sort of congressman for all of Brazil. Am I lying? If you live in other regions and don't feel represented by Nikolas, leave a comment here. You don't feel represented by him. I feel it, my family feels it, my father and my mother feel it, my siblings feel it, so, in other words, he has an influence, not just in his own state. It's not just Minas that has the privilege of having this guy. It's here in São Paulo, it's in Santa Catarina, it's in Rio Grande do Sul, it's in Natal, it's in Pernambuco, it's in Amazonas, in every state, every state. Imagine him together with Flavio in all these different places. It's going to give our cause a lot of visibility, because he's a guy who gets things done. And then what happens? The wicked have already started to show up. Fernando Roaldi now reminds me of Peninha, who mentioned Trump, Elon Musk, and has a daughter in the United States. Next to Trump's house, who did something outrageous with Elon Musk, because she lives near Elon Musk's mansion and all that. Look at what he says now.
The worst thing here in Brazil is the evangelicals. Evangelicals should stay in church, should stay in the temple, should be grazing with the pastor. Evangelicals should be forbidden from voting because they don't vote for pastors. Why don't they vote for pastors? People don't pick their own pastor. The church does. So why should they vote for city council, state or federal representatives, senator or president? They shouldn't vote.
And then the guy is saying here that evangelicals shouldn't vote. That evangelicals shouldn't vote. Vote. You'll understand.
They vote and elect corrupt, violent scum, and sometimes developers are elected too.
Guess who he supports, yeah.
Yes, Fernando made a great video, but another part features Nicolas Ferreira.
He was born in a community in a favela called Pai Tomás, son of an evangelical pastor. You know what a pastor is, the guy who shepherds. The name implies it. Pastor is linked to cattle. There are decent, worthy, and progressive pastors.
Not progressive pastor, guys. Come on, a left-wing pastor.
Connected to humanitarian causes and such. Oh, I suppose that Pastor Adesio, the father of this person, can't be one of those. Because otherwise they wouldn't have let this kid turn into what he did. This damn kid, because he is a damn kid, right? He's a damn kid.
The kid is you. There are people who back your cause, which keeps shrinking. This guy has never been held accountable for the atrocities he keeps spreading out there. Never has. And there are many atrocities. He has never faced charges for hate speech, never been penalized on social media for the outrageous things he does. Never. Absolutely nothing. And he's trying to build a movement to try to destroy Nicolas Ferreira, our prodigy congressman, the great young man. That's what he's trying to do. He even went after his father, saying that since he's a pastor, he just grazes. And that evangelicals shouldn't or can't vote, and that they don't matter. Look at what Lula's doing here. He's a guy who doesn't show up. You see him next to Lula, but he's someone who's constantly active and present. With all these elements from the left who are connected to Lula, but don't show up, so they can say, no, he's not even with Lula, but it's all together and mixed up here. Look at this absurdity. This guy here is easy. He's irrelevant. I've already mentioned him here before. He's a leftist idiot, right? But look, he puts it here. The people responsible for what happened to the little dog, Orelha, are Bolsonaro supporters, and Nikolas records a video trying to divert the subject, trying to link the Orelha case with Nikolas and with the Bolsonaro supporter. This is the worst part. He can't be sued for fake news, but the truth comes out in his comments section. This is content for leftists, because Bolsonaro supporters just want them to screw this comment here. Look, Sapo de Vergonha. If Sapo de Vergonha gets more likes than the original tweet, then the tweet is really bad here. Look at what he says. Here, let's organize a campaign against lowering the age of criminal responsibility. We are in favor of lowering it to fewer years so that the citizen reaches the age of criminal responsibility earlier. Not at 18, but even at 14, ideally at 14. In the United States, just because a guy is under 18 doesn't mean he won't be held responsible. There, he is held accountable. Now everything, even in Argentina, and the guy supports things staying the way they are, because they support criminals, right? They won't want it, since often the person over 18 doesn't commit the crime. He encourages the minor to commit the crime since nothing happens to the minor, and he opposes lowering the age of criminal responsibility. All kinds of negative comments right here on his own page. In other words, for activists, it's really hard, because on their own pages they have lots and lots of comments against themselves. It's the same on Lula's, Lindenberg's, Farias, Iglesias, Hoffman's, Yanya's pages. On all of them, Marcia from Colombia. It's a shame to use the memory of a pure animal, and everything it suffered for political activism. I posted about Orelha on both right-wing and left-wing pages. That's the filter that distinguishes sensitive people from those who use others' pain to boost their ego. In other words, this guy here, he's accusing Nikolas, in a way, of being responsible for this case. Nikolas will definitely sue this indecent guy here, who is nothing more than that, a shameless Partido dos Trabajadores supporter. Just by looking at his face, we can tell he lacks responsibility. But it's Lula's activists who are assigned to try to do these outrageous things, you know? Things started off rough, and the Partido dos Trabajadores supporter feels so at ease doing this because he knows he won't be held accountable. Carmen Lucia won't act during this pre-election period. She didn't do anything even about the Samba school, which is outrageous. Imagine Mario Frias doing that, you already know. And Bolsonaro? Here we set the record straight. It was Bolsonaro who signed it into law. The law that increases penalties for mistreatment of dogs and cats. Jair Bolsonaro signed into law during a ceremony at the Planalto Palace, a law to increase penalties for mistreatment of dogs and cats. The text amends the environmental crimes law, setting penalties of 3 months to 1 year in prison and fines for crimes against animals. The new provision sets 2 to 5 years in prison, a fine, and a ban on keeping animals for mistreating, injuring, abusing, or mutilating dogs and cats. Specifically, it was President Bolsonaro who created it. It's easy to debunk these idiots, it's very easy. That's cowardly, isn't it? First, he attacks the evangelicals. This guy is very close to Lula, and the other one supports Lula. Trying to blame Nikolas for the barbarity just to keep people hooked. They'll do anything, because they're desperate. They've lost control. They already saw it went bad, and they're committing these atrocities. Share this video widely on WhatsApp, Telegram, and Facebook. Join our family, and leave your important comments.